Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Michelle. I am doing a case study for you today. So I use the tarot. I read tarot cards and the energy associated with them, and I use it as almost like a Sherlock Holmes type of investigation. I just want to see what the cards are saying. So it's meant to be for entertainment purposes. If you see yourself in this case study, um, awesome. If you want to use the guidance or whatever comes up, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. If this case study reminds you of somebody else that you feel like might be going through a situation like this, send it to them. And if you just enjoy the reading or whatever, feel free to make comments and kind of open this community up a little bit. And yeah, so let's just get into it. So what's interesting is I actually already started this reading and it took a turn. What I mean by it took a turn is I was starting to get one message and it was like kind of very discombobulated, and there was too much confusion around the cards. So I needed to step back and get some clarity, and I did. And the message came through a lot more sound. So typically I shuffle and do the stuff on camera. I will not always do that, obviously, because that's not how it worked today, or in this particular moment, but here we are. So here's the case study. Case study is the 10 of Pentacles. To me, it's talking about something coming to a completion or just getting our attention around something that really needs to come to an end. Okay, the evidence that we have around this is that there is a very difficult feeling or a difficult time in your current life right now. Okay, what would we call this? The hidden motive. It seems like the hidden motive within the current lack or the current difficult situation that you are encountering right now is very much to get you focused on other things. So you may have lost some things that have caused you emotional pain, but there's something about what is left that is going to bring you the resources you need to completion, or at least this is what I'm seeing within the cards right now. Then we move on to the interrogation room, where we have the Page of Wands. And the way that I'm seeing this, it's the things that you have lost are now allowing you to put more focus, more of your energy, more of your creative energy into these other two. It could be relationships. Okay, when we're talking about cups, I mean, it could be relationships. It could be maybe it's even your abilities. I don't know. Something came through with like psychic abilities or something. So if you're a reader, whatever, I'm not whatever. If you're a reader, that can pertain to that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's interesting because the way I can almost sense this relating to me is, while you can be empathic, sometimes turning off the empathy, or at least turning it down, and instead turning it into sympathy. The way, I don't know the technical difference, the way I feel the energetic difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is where I can feel what's the word? I can feel compassion for somebody who is going through something, but I can have compassion for what someone is going through. That's sympathy. Empathy to me is where I'm experiencing the pain that this person is going through because I'm putting myself too much in their shoes. What I do feel like is interesting, a lot of times when we do this, when we put ourselves in somebody else's shoes and we're like, I just don't know if I could ever deal with that, da 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 da. It's interesting because I feel like the person who's dealing with it is actually dealing with it better than sometimes a person that's judging the situation, saying like, I don't know how she's even dealing with it. Again, just the irony, and mentally they're actually dealing with it much better than the person who's not in the emotional situation. um, and that's also an example of where empathy needs to get turned down, in order almost for you to make the harder decision. um, because it can feel very, very emotional and difficult to make the right and hard decisions, but nonetheless, it's the right decision to make. Um, I just, so again, with the Page of Wands being in the interrogation room, it's giving that feeling of you need to put your creative endeavors or whatever you have left within your life force energy into whatever is fulfilling you. So there may be a bunch of things that are no longer fulfilling you, um, but there are still at least two things that are, and focusing your energy on that is what's being brought up in the interrogation room. All right, let's see what's going on with the mirror. The mirror is always interesting for me because it's a little bit vulnerable for me, right? Because I'm sharing the way that I see this happening in my life. So the ending, and I will say it was painful in that, I think before the last video I posted yesterday, I don't know if I've been off for like a full 90 days, or I don't know what it was. But what this is reminding me of is that I had to change the way I was doing my readings, um, to make it more fun for me. So there is more of that childlike wonder type of energy that Page of Wands carries. I had to find my own fun in it because it felt too heavy spiritually. Um, and then in part, like, not, I don't, it was like I just couldn't, I couldn't find my joy or that like childlike curiosity unless I did this investigative series. So that's what I had to focus my energy on. And so the reason I say it was painful is because, um, I had been doing tarot for so long that taking a break from it for as long as I did was like, it just had you, it had me questioning a lot of things. Like, I've worked on this for so long, I believe in it, but why am I not wanting to do it? I don't even know how many decks or how much actual money has been spent on, different card decks. I mean, some decks can be like $6 all the way to $100 or more depending. But again, the reason I bring it up is it's like I poured all these financial resources, and then like this is what it's reminding me of, and then I'm not even using them. It just spilt over. But it wasn't that I didn't want to use them. It was the way that I was using them that needed to shift. And I think this is where we're being brought into that interrogation room with the wands, uh, to make it more fun, to revitalize it, because the lack that we're feeling seems to be more of an emotional lack that's causing the physical lack, right? There all these energies are intertwined, all the elements are intertwined, and they all affect each other. So that's the way I'm seeing the mirror effect within this reading. Let the things that weren't fulfilling you end, and let them change or evolve into whatever it does. If it's a complete ending, let it completely end. If it's just the way in which you change, like I'm doing this feels more like a investigative series to me with tarot. That's kind of the way I want it to go. Then other stuff. So that opened up the spark for me. What type of thing are you doing where you can open up that type of spark? Or asking yourself what needs to end in order for you to open up that spark. Okay, and then we have the break in the case. So something's being, but we have the Empress, and we have something being born. It also feels like luxury. So I'm being drawn back to the Ten of Pentacles with one, fertility and having an abundance, but also fertility, abundance, and just this luxury. So I do feel like there's going to be some sort of break within whatever this thing is for you. I think the break is going to come, like the fertility is going to come when you change your tactic. So if we're using this case study for me based on the mirror, it'd almost be like saying this new way that I'm now going down is going to lead to a birth, and into some sort of abundance. So what would that be for you? With what did you change, or what did you end, and how is that going to lead to abundance? Let's see what's next here. The verdict. We have the Page of Cups. It's, it's interesting because typically I'm going to go off of the energy of this card. So it's don't let your emotions get in the way of your dreams. So I think what it's saying is fertility is coming, or that abundance is coming, but don't let your emotions of these loss get in the way of your dreams, because you need to keep that spark to pour into the Empress so that she can birth this new stuff. So it's like there is going to be a completion as long as you don't let your emotions get in the way of your dreams. It's like, I was just thinking this, it's like coming to the King of Pentacles. If you have, or even the Emperor comes to mind too, because then you have all the kings combined. But even the King of Pentacles, like someone that I would go to for a solution, because this is a guy that gets things done. He knows how things get taken care of. He has, to me, almost even the networking connections to bring the people in to get it fixed. Although that also reminds me a little bit of the King of Wands type energy. But again, as long as you don't let your emotions get in the way, it feels like the solutions will pour in for you. Okay, but what is the King of Pentacles? This would be the integration. The integration plan. Wait, are there 9? So funny. Oh, cool. That is so neat. Wow, okay. I thought this was a bonus card, and it's not. It's part of it. So this is the what did I say? The integration plan. So what do we need in order to integrate all of this information? Well, I already feel like we told you. I already told you. You're solving issues in a practical way when things come up emotionally. It's not that you don't feel your feels. It's like this says, feel your sadness with the knowing that the sun will shine again. That allows you to feel the sadness or to feel whatever emotion you're feeling, but then also move on past it so that you can get to the solution. The longer you spend in the emotional turmoil, the longer it may take you to find the solution. So it's really up to you how much time you want to spend in which emotion. And then with the closing statements, we have the Eight of Cups, and it's walking towards something more fulfilling. And again, with the cups, we have that emotion. I would also say that there's feel that like there is a pull for I'm almost with this, I'm feeling okay. I'm going to read this. Make a decision and act with faith and confidence. Again, it's very much of this is very straightforward. Sometimes it's like I just need to read the cards and remember like the cards are giving me the information I need. Because to me, that is just very clear from everything that we're reading, which is when the things come up, you're solving issues in a practical way. You're not allowing the emotions to dictate your choices. Make a decision, act with faith and confidence. Even when you make that decision and all of the doubt, all of the other stuff comes up, you continue to walk towards it. This is how you get to the fruition and master all of the stages. So that's what I have for you guys today. If you have any comments or just whatever, I want to just kind of start filtering in really a community here. So I would love to hear how this affected you or what you're taking away from it. Yeah, that's it. Have a nice day.